everyone, I'm Shreya from CSC. Now we are going to learn about the framings in a computer network. It is done in the reference model in OSI. We have another reference model called as the TCP IP model. OSI stands for the Open System Interconnection. It is developed by the ISO. It has the 7 layers. First one is the physical layer, second is the data link layer, third one is the network layer, fourth is the transport layer, fifth one is the session layer, sixth is the presentation layer, and seventh is the application layer. The framing is done at this data link layer. In the physical layer, data can be transmitted from the source to the destination. The data link layer packs the bits into the frames, and the data link layer gets the packets from the network layer, that is the upper layer of the data link layer. It transfers the bits by bit to the receiver side. This is the sender side and this is the receiver side. In physical layer, the data can be transmitted. It involves in the transmission of the bits from the source to the destination. In the data link layer, we get the packages from the network layer, and these packages are packed into the frames. And the frame consists of the 3 parts. One is the head part, and second part is the data, and last part is the trailer part. So the data can be transmitted bit by bit to the receiver side through the hardware. So in the receiver side, it receives the bit by the hardware, and it assembles into the frame. So this is done in the OSI model. In data link layer, we create the frames. It is called as the framings. The framings can be done in the 4 ways. First one is the byte count, and second is the flag bit with the bit stuffing, and third one is the flag byte with the byte stuffing, and fourth one is the physical layer coding violation. Now we will discuss detailedly about the framing methods by our friends.
Hello everyone, I am Manita from 3rd year Computer Science. Now we are going to learn about bit stuffing and destuffing. Let us see. So this is the frame format. Frame format consists of beginning sequence and ending sequence of 8 bits. In between that, header of 16 bits, body and CRC, cyclic redundancy check of 16 bits. So beginning sequence and ending sequence consist of 0, 6 ones and 0. This is flag bits. In between the flag bits, there is a data, that is payload field. So this is the sender and this is the receiver. Sender sends frame to the receiver so that the receiver accepts that frame. But the problem arises when there is a flag bits in data. So the receiver assumes that frames ends here, only accept this data, and the remaining data will be lost. This is called framing error. So to avoid this problem, add a 0 after 5 consecutive ones. Adding a 0 after 5 consecutive ones is called bit stuffing. So the receiver ignores this 0 and accepts the whole frame. This is called bit destuffing. Now my friend Suvidha will explain GUI for implementation of bit stuffing and destuffing.
Hi everyone, I am Suvidha from CSC, and I am here to explain the implementation of the just now said algorithm. So basically in lab we just give the input and get the output, but now I have done something different, that is we have implemented the same algorithm through programming using GUI. So let's get started and see how I implemented this program. So I have imported the required libraries, packages. So I have imported AWT package for implementing the action listener method, and I have imported the swing packages in order to get the GUI frameworks. So let's get started with the class. So I have defined a class bit stuffing, which is extending the JFrame class and implementing action listener. So basically what I did is I've divided the whole window into 3 parts, that is the first panel, second panel and the third panel, and then I've used text fields in order to get the input, and I've used buttons to create the events like submit button and send button. So if you go to the main method, here I'm creating 2 objects, one is for sender window and one is for receiver window. For sender window, we are calling the sender method, and for receiver window, we are calling the receiver method. These 2 methods when called will create the required GUI. So let's see these 2 methods first. This is the sender method. Here I am setting the default close operation to close, like exit on close, and then I am setting the size of the window to 400, 400. Now as I said, I have created 3 panels, like a main panel is divided into 3 panels. So for the first panel, I am creating 3 labels. One is sender label, message label and frame label. These labels will print us the labels in the GUI, and text fields in order to accept the input, and buttons to create the action events. So I'm adding the first panel, second panel and third panel to the main panel. So I've created 3 sections, that is 3 panels, first panel, second panel and third panel, and I'm adding them to the main panel. And then in the same way I'm adding all the labels, message label and message text field, and then buttons also. So this will create the overall GUI that we want, and I'm also adding the action listeners in order to create the events. So for submit button, whenever we click on the submit button, it should redirect and submit the details. So for that I'm adding add action listener method to submit button and the send button in the same way, and I'm setting the visible to true, so that this will create the whole window. In the same way I've done for the receiver too. This is the receiver program, the same thing. So now let's see the main algorithm implementation. So this is the main method, that is action perform method, which will create the events and do the required job. So here I am just taking a variable button which will get the action command. That is, if we submit on the submit button, if we click on the submit button, then we'll get the submit as the command, and then if we click on send, in the same way we'll get the send as the action command, so that we can check if the button is submit, send or extract. So if it is a submit, if we submit, like at starting we'll just give the input and submit the details. So for that, if we submit the input, then we have to create the frames and then give that frames to the next label. So for that, for creating the frame, I have used a sender method which takes in the text that the user inputs. So let's see how this sender works. This is the sender method which will take in the message as the input, and then at starting we are just finding the length of the message, and then we are creating the character array for that message. Here after getting the message character array, then we have to create the frame. For that we have bit stuffing method which will create the frame and send it to the sender method. So what happens in the bit stuffing is, as my friend already explained the algorithm, here we have two like header and the trailer which contains 0, 6 ones and 0. So I've just initialized start and end with that, and when I've just initialized the count to 0, so that will count the number of ones, and then for every consecutive 5 ones I'm adding one more extra one, so that we can know like we are just bit stuffing that. And then if there is if the count is double equal to 0, we are bit stuffing, else we are just adding the message bits. So it will this whole program will create the frame and will send it to the sender message. Once it's sent to the sender message, the frame will get the required frame, and then it will return the frame. This is all about the submit button. Whenever we click on the submit button, the text should the input text should go to the method and do the required framing and give that back to us. And when we click on the send button, it should go to the receiver window. So for that, I'm just extracting the frame to the text field, and then I'm setting the received frame text field to the received frame. Then the next task is bit unstuffing. That is, we'll do bit unstuffing when we click on the extract button. Whenever we click on the extract button, the received frame should be given to the receiver F function, so that it will extract the required message. So let us see receiver F function. This is the receiver F function. Here we know that the starting 8 bits are the header and the last 8 bits are the trailer. So we are just truncating the first 8 bits and last 8 bits. And then we are creating the character array for the rest of the message. And then we are giving that message to the bit unstuffing method. What this bit unstuffing method will do is, it will again, in the same way as we did for the bit stuffing, it will, we are initializing the count to 0, and we are checking if there are consecutive 5 ones. If there are consecutive 5 ones, then we are just removing that, and else we are just appending the data bits. So this will do the respective work and will return the received message, which is the received message that we want, and we are just setting the received message to the text field. So this is all how I implemented the program. Now let us see the output. So once we run the program, this is the GUI that we are getting. Now let's say the sender sends the message 1001. Then when we click on the submit button, it will create the frame, and the frame text field is set to the received frame. And then when we click on the send button, it will send the frame to the received frame. And then when we click on the extract button, we'll get the received message. So this is the overall implementation.
Hi everyone, my name is Sandhya. I am from 3rd year CSA department. So today we're going to learn about flag bytes with byte stuffing, which is a framing method. So let us know what is byte stuffing. So byte stuffing is a process of adding one extra byte whenever there is a flag or escape character. It is used in PPP, which is point-to-point protocol, and it is also called as character-oriented protocol or character stuffing. And as we can see, flag bytes is used as both starting and ending delimiter. So let us know how this byte stuffing works. Before that, we should know what is a frame. So mainly frame has these 4 parts. First one is header, second one is payload field, and third one is trailer, fourth one is flag. So what header does is the source and the destination address is placed in the header part, and in the payload field it contains actual message, and in the trailer part it comprises of error detection and error correction bits, and the flag sees the beginning and ending of the frame. Now let us see the structure of a frame. So as we can see, this is the structure of a frame. Here we have starting and ending flag. This is the header part, that is the trailer part, and this is where the actual message is placed. Let us see the mechanism of byte stuffing. Assume this is the sending machine and this is the receiving machine. This is the data which is sent from the network layer. So what sending machine will do, it will perform the stuffing, in which the flag bytes and the escape byte will add escape character in front of it, and this is called as byte stuffing. So now what sending machine will do is, it will send this data to the receiver side. So what receiving machine will do is, it will take the data sent by the sender and it will perform unstuffing, in which it will remove these added escape character and it will extract the actual data. So this is the total mechanism of byte stuffing. This is the same example of byte stuffing. Similarly, the flag and escape bytes are adding escape character, and unstuffing is getting performed. This is another example of byte stuffing. Now my friend Suvidha will explain the implementation of byte stuffing.
So this is the program implementation of byte stuffing, that is also called as character stuffing. So in this, I've made the same GUI as I've made for the bit stuffing. So let's see the exact implementation of the actual method. This is the main method that is gonna create the actions required. So this is action perform method, which will take in the action event AE. First we are extracting the button command. If we click on submit button, then we have to get the submit as the action command. So this button contains the submit, send or extract label, and then when we click on the submit button, that input text should be received and we have to create a frame and then set it to the frame text field. So for that I'm getting the frame from the sender method. So let's see what is that method. This is the sender method, which will take in the input message, and first we are finding the length of the message and we are converting the message into a character array so that our operations become easier. So we are giving that character array to the character stuffing method, which will create the character stuffing. So let's see what is the character stuffing method is doing. As explained by my friend, we have the starting flag and the ending flag. So I've took the starting flag as @ and ending flag as $. Now whenever the @ or $ is in the data bits, then we have to concatenate another extra data bit. So for that, I'm checking whether the message bit is equal to @ or $. If it is equal to @ or $, then the message is repeated twice, else we are just appending once. And then this will create the overall frame, and we are returning that frame to the caller method. So after receiving the frame, it will set the frame text field to the received frame, and then when we click on the send button, the received frame should be given to the receiver text field. So we are just setting the text of in the receiver side to the frame received. And then when we click on the extract button on the receiver side, then we have to do the character unstuffing, and then we have to set the text to the received message. So let's see what is happening in the receiver F function. This is the receiver F function which is taking the input message, and then as we know, the starting and ending byte is a flag byte. So we are just truncating that flag bytes, and the rest of the message is converted into a character array, and we are sending that character array to the character unstuffing method. This is the character unstuffing method. So here also we need to count whether the message is repeated twice. If the message bit is @ or $, it will increase the count, and if the count is =0, then we are not concatenating anything, we are just skipping that bit, else we are just concatenating the message. And we are doing the same process for the whole message, and we are returning the received message. So at last the text field at the receiver side will be set to the received message. This is the output. Let's say we have given the input as AB, $C, and D. Then as I said, here we are repeating the @ symbol and also the $ symbol, so we are getting the required frame, and we are sending this frame to the receiver side. The same frame is sent to the receiver side, and when we click on the extract button, we are getting the received message. We hope you all understood the data framing methods. Thank you.